I'm excited to talk about Kaspar Korjus, and he's the director of the E-residency program. And let me show you. Okay. Ich bin ein Estonier. I have an Estonian identity card, so I have a second identity next to a Dutchman. I have a digital identity, and I can use that everywhere all over the world. What does it mean that I have an Estonian digital identity, Kaspar?
It means now you're part of Estonia. You're e-Estonian, and you can access all the digital services what Estonia and the world has to offer you.
Yeah, and that is. But I mean, Estonia is a 1.4 million people country somewhere, next to Poland and between Poland and Russia. What kind of services do you really can offer what I could possibly use?
Yeah, mostly it's used by a business environment, so established company, IBAN bank account, payment provider and digital signature. And that gives you location independent business. So even if you're from Netherlands, you can still travel all around the world and run your business through Estonia.
Yeah. So what I can do by going online from India or Africa or anywhere else in the world, uploading my passport details, paying €100, I go to the embassy, you verify my identity, and then from that moment on, you will guarantee that I'm really the one who I am digitally log in with.
Yes, every time you access any service, we check whether your certificate is active, whether it is you, and then we say to the service provider, let him in, he's him who he claims to be.
Yes. And that is especially, I could then start a bank account in Estonia without going there.
After 5 months, e-residents can open bank accounts also online. Yeah. So everything, all the business environment can be done then online without ever need to visit the EU to run EU business.
Yeah, so that I can get a bank account from Estonia, and then I can make payments in an easy way everywhere into Europe.
Yeah, and accept foreign currencies, which is the major problem today. Most people outside the EU cannot accept euros, dollars, because their governments don't support that. Now through Estonian body, you can start doing international business online.
Yeah. So if you have a weak international identity, you can have a real strong one, because the Estonian one is a real strong one, and they can do business in Europe and actually everywhere.
Exactly. And the most important thing is, if you're a startup, then there are all the different possibilities how you can integrate e-residency to your own startup. You can have blockchain startup to add the credibility of e-residence there, let's say Bitcoin wallet. You can have fintech startups to scale your services, because Estonia is doing KYC for you. You can scale your service international, because everybody through Estonia can start using your service. Or you can build total new services, like Nasdaq is building e-voting system on top of e-residency.
So what does it mean? I have Nasdaq is building on top of Estonian digital identity a service that I can buy shares from a company like Microsoft and then vote.
Yes, first they are piloting in Estonia, so all Nasdaq Estonian listed companies, you can buy the shares and then attend online shareholder meetings and then vote, and according to the amount of your shares, your vote is considered. Yeah. So for shareholder meetings, not only that big bosses don't need to be in one room, also that every small shareholder is now considered as important person take part of the shareholder.
Okay, but Nasdaq is only doing it for Estonian licensed, Estonian listed Nasdaq companies. Will they expand that?
I can't promise, because they are a separate company, but definitely the vision is that it is a good test market, because we can develop everything very fast, and if it works, then definitely it is interest of Nasdaq to integrate that to everywhere.
Okay. So I became an Estonian because I wanted to see if that's possible. I'm now going to open a bank account, see what the government knows about me. But then the interesting thing is, what you say is, in Holland, in the next couple of years, we also will have a digital identity. With our passport, driver license, bank cards, all kinds of different systems, my mobile phones, I will be able to prove that I am the one who I am. And that's a Dutch system. Will the Estonian system also work with all the Dutch systems?
In theory, yes. The directive is called e-IDAS, which means that every EU member state who has its own digital identity in any form needs to start accepting other EU digital identities, which means that today's e-Estonian is actually in 2 years' time Dutch e-Estonian and Dutch and e-Dutch. We can say e-Dutch person.
Okay, but I mean, practical. I will be able to log in with my bank with my driver license, with my digital driver license. In my driver license there will be a chip, and with that chip I will be able to log into my bank. That is going to be possible within 2 years. Then
no, in that sense.
yeah, no, that is going to be possible.
There are different levels of security, 4 levels. Yeah. E-residency has the highest level. If you accept e-residence, you need to accept everywhere. But driving license in Estonia at least has very low level.
No. So the Dutch driver license will have the highest form of identity verification. But then I will be able to log into my Dutch bank with my Dutch driver license. Will I then also be able to log in with my identity, with my Estonian identity, and will the bank then also accept the Estonian identity to log into my Dutch bank?
Everything is almost like this because the compulsory element is that public sector services need to accept. Private sector, it's voluntary. If they want, they can. Yeah. But public sector services, they need to accept then Estonian e-residents also.
Okay. Now let's ask, why did you become an international identity provider? And why did you do this? I mean, I paid 50 euro. It's now 100 euro. That's not a lot of money to go through the procedure to upload a passport, check if it's really true, make a card, verify identity in the embassy, and then to do it electronic verification all the time. Why do you do that, and what's the business case?
It's a great question, because our business case is not to get your 50 euros, it just covers the costs. Our business case is that, for example, last month, 5% of companies established in Estonia were established by e-residents. So already within that beta, 5% of Estonian companies are by e-residents. And you can imagine that this is very scalable, and this brings new revenues to Estonia. It doesn't mean new taxation, but at least Estonian companies can offer their services internationally.
Yeah. And how many people do you have now have an Estonian identity?
Almost 10,000, so we can say that almost 1% of Estonians are e-Estonians. Yeah.
And the biggest group is Polish, right?
Biggest group is Finns. Every fifth is from Finland because they have existing business ties to Estonia. And then other neighboring countries, US. The Dutch is number 10, and almost 300 Dutch are e-Estonians also. Yeah. Okay.
So you will hope that more people will do business in Estonia and use the services of Estonian companies and therefore generate money.
Yes, exactly. I hope that the Estonian companies, but as we see today, actually there are more foreign companies who are offering services to Estonian e-residents. So you can be any company from any land, and you can still offer services to e-residents. And that's why it's very powerful, because every country can actually win out of this program.
And I, as a private company, can use the identification services from the Estonian government. I can verify if somebody has a card. I can verify if Vincent Everts is really Vincent Everts. And that any company can do that. And it's for free.
Exactly.
And it's completely open, an API, and I can do as many personal identifications as I want. I will never be charged.
The API is open. There are some limits, but the costs eventually are so small that if you do like tens of thousands of authentications, you pay some euros. So basically it's for free.
Okay. Now you also told us how to get something done in Estonia, right? This idea of providing Estonian ID to other people than Estonians was born when?
It was just 1.5 years ago born. So.
Yeah. And when did it come to market?
Year and few months ago. So it's
6 months.
Yeah. So 1 year and 2 months ago. So 14 months ago. It's very government startup in a sense that we are learning from e-residents what regulations we need to change, what services we need to build. They are telling us through lean startup manner what we do.
Yeah. So in 6 months you build a service like that. How was the governance? Who was basically overviewing that program?
So the Prime Minister is on very top of that. Then we have a board of directors. Taavi Kotka, CIO, is the head of the board. And then under that board we have a team of 7 members, which I'm running. And each board member is responsible for their own ministry, and that their legislation in their own ministries would be dealt quick.
And how high are these people up there in the ministries?
Vice chancellors who actually make decisions.
Okay, so you need a prime minister and a whole bunch of DG's, directeur-generaals, high civil servants, and then you can get something done.
Yes.
Okay, so otherwise it wouldn't have gone so fast.
Definitely there's lots to learn. in Estonia also how to make it even faster, because the Estonian government is also still learning in the process how to become faster, because the old system how governments are done, they can't compete in today's very fast-pacing world.
Well, you're doing a good job compared to the Netherlands and anything. Will there be a lot of competition between countries to become an identity provider in the digital age?
We already see competitors actually, and it's not direct competitors of identity providers. For example, Stripe Atlas is offering US Delaware company and US bank account, everything online also. So we can already see that governments are extending their business environments externally without the need to visit their countries. And it's obvious, because you have the products, you have the services already. Why you should limit those with your own nations?
That's true. Hey, what did you do before this?
I run different startups before that, but...
now this is your first startup inside the company, inside the government?
First inside the government.
How's that?
I think it's first government startup in general in the world, so it can't be two anymore.
Great, thank you very much. I'm proud. Ich bin in Estonia and it feels really good. I'm going to use it more and more.